Today I thought I'd give you my top 5 favorite movie genres of all time, so let's get into it. Real quick before we get into this, I do want to say hit the subscribe button down below. It does my channel a lot of good. Also, leave a like and comment what are your favorite movie genres. And I know not one movie really fits into one genre, but each movie kind of does have a feel for the genre. But again, this is only a top 5, and there are about like 12 actual genres. For one, I love documentaries, but they're not really a genre, so I'm not putting them on here. I will talk about them for some of these genres, but for the most part, they're not really a genre. They're kind of a medium, but I am including animation on this list, even though I do agree it's more of a medium and not really a genre, because you can have totally different types. But that's what's kind of hard about this list, is there's not one genre that's like that is 100% like that. I didn't include comedy or horror movies as a genre on here because, well, I do like both of the genres. For horror movies, I haven't seen enough of them, and for comedies, they're either hit or miss. Because comedy's really subjective. But with that said, let's get into my top 5. In 5th place for me is gonna be the sci-fi genre. Now, this could also be fantasy, but to me, I love sci-fi. These movies are really, really great. Whether you're talking about movies like Star Wars or even Avatar, which is getting a sequel this year, I just like the genre for how expansive and how just most of the time these movies just encapsulate you in their worlds, and they take you to other planets, and it's just, I love sci-fi. To me, it's a really interesting genre, and again, Star Wars and Avatar for me are a big reason why this is so high, and this makes this list at all. But I really love the sci-fi genre. In 4th place for me is another one of those genres that to me is kind of a genre that's not really defined very well, and that's going to be adventure. I absolutely love adventure movies, just like movies like Jumanji, which are also comedies, but just these movies where they go on these huge globe-trotting adventures. I absolutely love those, whether you're talking about Mission Impossible movies, which are also kind of action movies, which is why like the genre video is hard to make. But to me, adventure movies are always just a blast, because you have a core set of characters going on an adventure, and they all have a goal, and they're all trying to get there. And to me, that's why I just love the genre, especially comedy adventures. Those are really really fun. But for the most part, I absolutely love adventure movies. In 3rd place for me is animation. Animation are some of the greatest movies, in my opinion, of all time. Whether you're talking about The Lion King, Shrek 2, Zootopia, animation's a genre that I grew up on animated movies. I think those were probably like the only movies I watched when I was younger. So that's why I have such an affinity to these movies, because I don't really enjoy the really kiddie ones, but the ones that actually have a great story for the whole family, like Pixar and some of DreamWorks movies, to me work really well. And animation as of lately has been just going uphill. I mean, they haven't really had, well, with streaming, animation seems to be more of a streaming type of genre now, but you do have these really kiddie movies that aren't very good, but then you also have movies like The Mitchells versus the Machines, that just really elevate the genre because they can take more mature themes on. And to me, animation is just one of those genres that experimental. It's one of the most experimental, because you can have different animation styles, whether it looks realistic like Toy Story 4, or it looks like a comic book movie, or it looks like a straight up comic book like Spider-Verse. And to me, I absolutely love the animation genre. In 2nd place for me are action movies. I absolutely love action movies. These movies are just, they're great in my opinion, and these aren't exactly movies that are going to be winning awards, but they're the best popcorn flicks in my opinion. Well, besides number one, which we'll get to soon, but action movies are phenomenal in my opinion, whether you're talking about Die Hard, just action stars in general have a lot of movies, like Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's got a lot of great movies, whether you're talking about Bruce Willis or just a lot of great action stars, Jackie Chan. Just it's a genre that I absolutely love, but I've also barely scratched the surface on because there are so many action movies out there and so many that they're just like, I don't know. To me, action movies are great movies, and even if they're bad, I still enjoy them, but the best part of action movies are the action scenes, and I really like them. Real quick, before I give you my number one, I do want to give a shout out to a couple other genres, ones I don't care for and ones I do care for. One that's not really a genre, but I do love are sports movies. I think whether you're talking about American Underdog or even The Karate Kid, I'd call that a sports movie. They're all really, really enjoyable. Also, historical movies I really tend to enjoy. I just really love history, and I love learning about that more through like movies and stuff, which really it's always fun. But Westerns, I've only seen a couple of those. I don't have enough to actually talk about Westerns that much, but I enjoy them. Movies like Tombstone, I enjoy. But movies I don't really care for, the genres are romance and musicals. I've barely seen any movies in those genres because I don't like the genres. And that's just me. I don't care. It's not for me, and I just don't like those movies very much. With that said, let's get into my number one. Easily coming in first place is comic book movies. To me, this is a genre that is nearly perfect because they're not great movies. Like, looking from like a Oscar standpoint, they're not going to be winning Oscars, but on a pure enjoyment level, these are the movies for me. These are the go-to movies. The sweeping stakes, everything just about these movies. The MCU works so well, but also the DCEU, and then just stuff that stands off on its own, like the Dark Knight trilogies, one of the best trilogies in my opinion of all time, or the X-Men franchise, or even Sam Raimi's trilogy, or Spider-Verse in general. Comic book movies, there's such a variety of them, and they do have a lot of different genres within them. Like, you can have a crime movie. There's so many different possibilities that I absolutely love comic book movies, and the animated ones are pretty good too. I think the spoof comic book movies are great too. I think Teen Titans Go to the Movies is one of the best parody movies of all time. It's really funny. Also, the Lego Batman movie is really, really funny, and to me, it's a great Batman movie. So in general, the comic book movie genre is just really one that I absolutely love. However, I do want to say, with this much comic book movie stuff coming out as of late, we have like 10 MCU projects coming up, plus like 6 DCEU stuff, a lot of animated stuff. I feel like this is a genre that you could get fatigued with, and you could not care for later on the road because they put out so much that feels similar. But to me, as of right now, I still love most of these movies, and I have a blast with about most of them. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Comment your list down below. I want to hear it. Also, leave a like and subscribe. And as always, you can check out some more videos right now.